Islam Sheikh Dwayne Bay. Islam on Motion American Nation family. Islam. It is April the 22nd, 2023. I'm running Arrington-Bey. Islam Sheikh Dwayne Bay. Islam. And I still consider myself your wife as of today. And I'm probably, I said, I still wear the ring. Anyway, it's Saturday. It's late to me. I'm tired. I worked today. But I'm going to go ahead and get started on the video. Um, and I'm at Extended Stay America, room 116. You might can see something that shows, see, there's a map that shows the same. So, and I'm drinking orange juice. So many times people come outside. We're on the first floor. So they sit outside and they coughing. And a lot of times smoking cigarettes. And I find it so odd because recently, and once again, it's April the 22nd, 2023. It's Saturday. Just recently, I found a rate here at Extended Stay America, cheaper than what we were paying. Imani and I were paying $68 per night. That's not the highest we ever paid. I think the most we ever paid was about $76 per night. I think I got to look back, but we were paying $68 per night. So I searched and I found a cheaper rate, $54.99. And after I found that rate, it's so odd. So I'm like, yay! And I'm so happy because the reason what caused me even to look was because the general manager Jen said people were checking in before, maybe a month before I found the rate with a cheaper rate. And she told me about it, possibly, but at the time I told her, she was like, I have I think we have a cheaper rate for you. And I was like, okay. So I said, can I come back the next day and talk to you about it? And so I came back, I think it was like a day, possibly, to talk to her about it. She said it was gone within a day. So anyway, so after that, I told myself I would keep an eye out on a cheap rate because I don't know. It's not that I didn't think. One moment. I just relied on extended stay to give me the best rate possible because we came here of August of 2016, and we had domiciled at the room since then of August of 2016. Now I've had to use another address in order, which is a mailing address, because for whatever reason some places don't accept this address as a mailing address. So I had to use another mailing address, which I authorized through the National Grantee and Motion American National Republic to use their address for certain things such as Robinhood and crypto. I don't know why, but certain systems do not recognize this address here. 120 Admiral Cochran Drive, 116 Annapolis, Maryland, 21401. So I had to ask, and I was allowed to do it. So, but this is where we have domiciled. So we came and lived here since then. But for a long time, I mean, people would just sit outside, and still to this day, it'll come out there like right 1, 2 in the morning. Recently it's been the general manager and the employees come out there and smoke cigarette and they cough. I don't know what caused them to cough, or the area manager Melissa, the general manager Jen, and Joe. They come out there. And recently I just started seeing Joe again, and then and then they're coughing sometimes, and I don't know what makes them cough, but they cough, and I mean it's like literally coughing. But I'm not saying they're sick, but that's what I experienced. But this has been going on for years. Hearing people coughing outside. Anyway, after I got the rent lowered at $54.99, I searched because of about a month ago missing out on that deal, And because I was, I just relied on. I extended so they tell me the right. I don't know. It could have been naive of me, but that's what I did. It's like they usually tell me the lowest price, and go from there. I mean, my rent was messed up one time. I caught it. I spoke to Jennifer about it, the general manager, and she fixed it immediately. So I showed her the proof, and she fixed it. She brought it back down. I think it had almost went up to like 66.74, when it's supposed to be at $62. So, and I showed her the proof, and she brought it back down. So and so therefore, um I was not even worried. I don't know why, but I just thought that, I just assumed that the Senate is basically giving me the best rate possible. I've been here once again since of August of 2016. So Imani and I both. But I started coughing this past week. I mean, literally coughing. My energy was not low, but I'm coughing in the middle of the night as I'm still hearing different feedbacks in the room. Still hearing like a very low feedback frequency in the room, or close to the room. There's recently, I found that so odd because predominantly has been black males sitting outside the window. Um, Black males, a lot of time hear them say brother. I can't tell you, in Annapolis, Sheet Dwayne Baffle Bay. And these are average citizens, okay? Because I'm going to talk about the United States Navy, Army, and the military branches and the police in Annapolis. But I'm telling you, these are average citizens, okay? And they could be through family members or whatever connected to the United States Navy, Army. For example, I didn't know. So I've been working for Burger King since June of 2016. I didn't know Phyllis, the manager, was connected to the military. I had no idea. I mean, I didn't come here for that, and I don't know. And if she was, it would be a good thing in my thoughts, because as a Moor, we are taught that the United States Navy and Army are supposed to be protectorates, as we as Moors reclaim our actual freedom. Actual freedom is mentally, spiritually, physically, and we affirm to uphold laws of freedom. So if even if I knew in 2016 that Phyllis or James were connected to the military, Navy and Army, I wouldn't have thought anything about it. But I didn't know. I had no idea. I did find it odd seeing so many of them come in and stay at Burger King for hours at a time. But when you're in a free state of mind, it's like, okay, it is a public restaurant. Why not? And why not if they want to? And especially, I'm thankful just to be earning money coming from New York, and it wouldn't be so if a person, so once again, I'm going to state this: I did not know that the United States Navy, Army, and other military branches, the Annapolis police, yes, I would think the police is prevalent here. Police are everywhere, but I had no idea how prevalent the military was here. So if someone new came to Annapolis, and you want to know about them, it wouldn't take much with Imani and I, because we came here with hardly anything. I never told Phyllis that we were having problems, a place to stay, or Janelle or anybody. But I used to bring my suitcase with me to work that had our stuff there, and I worked. We did what we could in reference to, because we at one time stayed in a tent, went to go wash up in different places. We wait for the homeless shelter. Thought about the homeless shelter, but instead we decided to just get up and go find a job, and we found a job within a week. So by us finding a job within a week, it was like, okay, we found a place to wash up, and afterwards we got a place. We got the room 116. We just kept going. So I didn't have the thoughts of even having to explain that to Phyllis. All I wanted to do is make sure that my uniform was clean, I was clean, and we were able to work and come back to our place that we made comfortable, our tent, until we were able to get a roof. So once again, I didn't know once again that Phyllis, the manager, her name is or James or anyone else, but I'm saying those two because I definitely those two were connected to the military until James Phyllis was speaking loud about her husband retiring from the military, the Navy, around November of 2020, and I thought I heard her say it before, but I didn't pay any attention to it because I thought about it, but then it was like, I mean, yeah, by that time I probably thought about it, it's like, but it just went over, but she was talking to this other female who was a customer, regular customer. I used to think her license plate stood for the police fraternal order, but then I looked at it wrong. It was actually, I think it's the fire department. So she had a license plate that had the symbol of the fire department. I thought it had the police of the I thought it was a symbol of the police fraternal order, but I didn't. Once again, all I knew is that after she was behind me at the post office as I was sending information to I think it was Burger King or Morris American National Public, and I was asking me about Phyllis. I thought, like other times, like, this is odd because Annapolis is not that big. You don't know how small it is until you get here and you see the people, but it is a city, but it's not that big. So, and James, I heard him speaking, it sounded like military terms very loud with another customer, regular, still to this day, another black male. I'm giving them descriptions. So Phyllis, I never spoke to her. She didn't know if she have a nationality. As far as I know, if you would describe her, she would say black or African American, or she might even say Negro. Who knows? I don't know. But but as far as I know, she doesn't have a nationality. Same with James, black, African American, Negro. Because according to constitutional law, if you don't have a nationality, and you haven't been naturalized under the laws of freedom, that's what you are. In reference to blacks and African Americans. So once again, I had no idea. So getting back, so people were been coughing and coughing and coughing, but after they've been coughing a lot more lately, and sure enough, I started to cough, and it's like, why am I coughing? So I would wake up in the middle of the night coughing, and I had peeked out there, and I would see someone out there. This looks like to be a pale skin. So odd, because usually it's black Negroes out there or African American. This is a description: black males outside, or even it could be Mongoloid that speak Spanish. They look like they're from Mexico or South Central America. That Mongoloid look. But this past like 2 weeks have been a pale skin, or a week and a half, a pale skin male. And I will wake up around 2, 1 in the morning, 3 in the morning, or 4 in the morning, and he's out there coughing, and it will wake me up. And like he would be literally facing towards our window, even in the afternoons when I get off work, or when I wake up and open the window. He's just sitting there looking like this. He might have a cell phone in his hand, but his head is like this, facing towards our window. So I found that odd. But getting back to the frequency in the room, I started to speak about the frequencies in the room. So when I came to Annapolis, once again, I didn't know. I had no idea how. When I would see detectives, police detectives, African American police detectives or police come into Burger King, the only issue I had was when this was a black male, would say, "Call me baby." So the black male that's a police officer carrying a gun, he's coming to a public restaurant, and he addressed me as baby. So it's like, how I told him, I said, I have a name tag. Can you call me Rhonda? You are carrying a gun. Can you not call me baby? You know, I truly couldn't understand. And he said, okay, he did say okay, whatever, he agreed, or not agreed, but he said okay. But it's just like, what makes you think it's okay to say baby? You are carrying a gun, and you are coming into a restaurant, and you are speaking to a woman who is working. It's a fast food restaurant, and you coming there and you speaking to a woman who's working there. I mean, people call it fast food. I would say restaurant, but okay. Predominantly, most people just say fast food. Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's, whatever. They just say fast food. So, okay, I'm just going to keep it simple right now, Sheet Dwayne Bath Bay. You come into a fast food restaurant, okay? You carrying a gun, and you address the cashier as baby. It's just like those that imply to be connected to the United States Navy, Army, or veterans come into a fast food restaurant, Burger King, and give the cashier, who is a woman, these are males, a hard time, a harassing time. What would make them think it's okay to do such things? You coming to a fast food restaurant, Burger King, and you sit there, you come here. So what would make you feel you have the right? You have the authority to treat a cashier, a woman, a certain way at a fast food restaurant. That is disrespectful, and according to some lawyers, they might say harassing. Hold on. It rained today. It rained today. So a lot of the regular males that are connected to or imply to be connected to the United States Navy, Army, veterans, and so forth, they know Phyllis, they know James, and I don't know everybody that's connected to the military. I only know them because I overheard them, and I asked James, and James said yes, he either used to be in the Army or he's still in the Army. I'm not sure. I think and then Phyllis, I didn't ask, but she after the second time hearing her say it, she said it so loud I couldn't help but hear it. And she said, and she was just talking about her husband. I think she was, I don't know, she was just talking about him being he retired for the Navy, or some sort, and she just kept going on and on and on. I couldn't help but hear it because she was talking on the front line to the other female that would be considered black, who now I think the symbol is a fire department sign on her license plate. So the question would be, I'm at 16 minutes. Why would any black male, or even mongoloid, or anyone that has the authority to carry a gun, who's been taught to be involved in some form of combat training, some type of military techniques, behavior, not just because pale skins, that there are definitely many pale skins that come into Burger King, males, that represent or imply to be connected to the Navy and Army as well. You can see there's a brotherhood, all right? Okay, Islam. So the question would be, why would any one of them feel it's okay to mistreat a cashier at a fast food restaurant? What would give them, especially if they know, because I'm pretty sure if police, we have regular customers that are police detectives. The ones I'm talking about are predominantly African American black Negroes. Okay, that's just a description. So I'm pretty sure it's not hard to just Google, put my name in their system, just like it wouldn't be hard for any military male or female. Put my name in their system and see and do a background check. a background check and see where there's mental illness involved. Islam, especially with my mother disappearing. Later, they found her remains and said about approximately 6 to 7 years later, found her remains and said she was possibly murdered. But she had mental illness before. Then when Abbas, my youngest son, in 2018 to visit, or hopefully he was going to stay, but because of his mental imbalance, and as a spiritual practitioner, I describe it as spiritual possession, spirit possession. It would not take much, even before Bass came, just me starting there. It wouldn't take much for any one of them to Google and do a trace of my background, especially if there is someone who is a predator that is in the United States Navy, Army, or connected to police. And they want to see how they can implement a form of predatorial action or be a predator sexually. Behavior, causing behavior distress, mental distress, without being accountable for it. Because the military, they train in behavior, techniques, body language. They are trained. They're supposed to be trained. When we were taught as Moors, they are supposed to have been trained to protect citizens who are reclaiming their actual freedom, because they too are in the spirit of freedom. So why would a Moor who has affirmed to uphold constitutional laws would see them as a threat? So the question is, why would anyone connected to the United States Navy, Army, military branches, or the police would feel it was or think it's okay to behave in any form of harassment or harassing manner? Why? Towards a woman who's not from the town or the city that they have lived in for I don't know how long, who is new, and she's there with her son. So what would give them courage? What would give them courage to think, or some type of boldness to think it's okay, that they're going to get away with it? They're going to get away with possibly sexual harassment, get away with harassment, get away with mental abuse, psychological mental abuse. What would make them think they can get away with it? I'll be right back. I'm going to finish this. I just need to get some more orange juice. And also, let me also say there are definitely Mongoloid that speak Spanish in the United States Navy, Army, and military and the police as well. Definitely, there's no doubt about that. Okay, I need to make sure I say that. So I am speaking about average citizens. Definitely, there are average citizens, but I want to make it clear that I demonstrate the diversity that is connected to those in Annapolis who have the authority that's supposed to be upholding law in authoritative position, but through the constitutional laws that exist. where a woman and child, if they want to live or domicile, we say domicile, at a city they're not from, it should be no problem, especially if they don't want to have sex with, my son don't want to have sex with a black Negro female or African American female, Mongoloid, or anyone here, or anyone. He shouldn't have feel like he have to, and neither should I. And no woman or anyone should feel like they have to move because they don't want to have sex, because they don't want to be sex trafficked, because they don't want to be molested, because they don't want to be involved in a community that encourage such animal beast behavior. So the question would be, what would make those that have the right to carry a gun, who have specialized supposedly in war tactics? Vietnam veterans today, Saturday, my first approximately 7 customers were or 4, I say 3 or 4, 5, maybe 7, I'm gonna say 6 or 7, 8, 9, I don't know. I'm gonna just say the first few group of customers that came into Burger King came in with a Vietnam veteran hat on. Today, Saturday. Predominantly were males, African American, black, Negro. This is just not about them. They're also average citizens that behave odd. So the question will be, why? What would make them feel so bold, so confident that they will be able to behave, maybe possibly in a way where possibly, I'm not saying that they are, but I'm like, how is this frequency coming into this room saying brother? It's not like it's saying brother paid, she loved your son, I paid, he paid, definitely having Spanish speaking accents, definitely African American, black, Negro, male and female accents. 3, Burger King, stay, what else? Like a machine, like some type of machine, like noise, like especially when I have the air conditioning heater on. So now I'm saying, I said machine. So I was it was so odd for me, or it was odd. I had never been to a place, because I grew up once again around African American. I was considered African American in my status for a long time. I've never been a place where the word man was emphasized so much. As time went on, and I started to document, because I had to call the police to document, because my antennas were up already about Annapolis police, because I was wondering, this is a little bit too much with the car accidents happening on my path to work, going to and from work. I would see car accidents, police pulling people over, just so happened on my path to and from work. And I was like, this is too much. These roads doesn't look like they're that, what's the word, hectic. And so my antennas were all starting to be up, and I was hearing the frequency in the room. So, but still, when something happened, I have to do if I want to document with my video, my recorder, or go get the paper, the report, I needed something to show that this happened. So I called them. Okay, not to exclude them or any one of Annapolis police. I'm not saying all would be criminal, but I'm not excluding the thought that some of them possibly are, because of the consistency or the sequence of seeing feathers on my path to and from work, or seeing the car accidents and so forth. I'm definitely not excluding, because police officers are also connected to the military, Navy, Army, and so forth. So, let me finish the thought. So I noticed people would be saying "man" a lot. Or hearing them say that man loves her. That's a man. Then I started hearing them say racist, especially when I was documenting. I ended up having to call the police on certain citizens that would aggressively engage. They were aggressively engaged, predominantly black males. Only once it was not a black male. He looked to be pale skinned, but he could have been considered olive colored. He could have been considered mongoloid, light skinned mongoloid, but his dog was off a leash. He had a German Shepherd. He used the word police before, as he was coming towards me with his dog with no leash. He said the word police, and when I called the police and told them about it, and the police showed up, I told the new police officer about the person. He was not in a police uniform. He was in regular clothes, but his dog was off the leash. The dog looked to be a German Shepherd, full grown, and as he was coming towards me, he was telling me to shut up, because I had just tweeted about possible sex trafficking. How could you sex traffic? How would sex trafficking be involved or exist in a city, and those that are involved get away with it? And the very next day, on my way to earn money at Burger King, this pale skin, or it could be olive colored mongoloid, but that would be I wasn't that close to him, but close enough to say, or he could be Italian. That's the look I would say, that some Italians are have some color to their skin. They're not completely dark, like Sicilian, but then they're not completely blonde hair and blue eyes, but a little color to their skin. That's the look he had, and he used the word police as he was walking towards me with a German Shepherd with no leash. And I clarified when the police came to talk to me about what happened. Was he supposed to have the dog on a leash? And then the police officer said yes. That's part of Maryland's law. You're supposed to have the dog on a leash. And so anyway, and the dog looked to be extraordinary or very intelligent, because the dog was like stopping, looking to see trying to see what the the male that said police wanted him to do. So I noticed I've never been in a place where people will emphasize on the word man, as though you have to convince someone to act like a man. Not man as in manhood, but man as in a human being. Like you have to convince someone to act like a human being. I have never been to a place, I have never experienced such things like that before. And I was noticing at Burger King, people were using the word man, and then they would say something about racist. Someone was racist. Now before, when I would hear them say man, I questioned. I was like, why are they saying man? Because my first thought would be manhood. But then I noticed it seemed as though those that would use the word man was sometimes, or too many times, not all, were trying to convince whoever they were talking to act like a human being, to behave like a human being. Then I started hearing them use words like racist. That person is racist. She is racist. They kept saying she's racist. And these are blacks, African American, predominantly. I have never ever been around African Americans. I myself, I grew up all my life. And I mean, that's who the culture, everything. That was, yes, I definitely learned African cultures because of who I was married to. But that did not take me away from all my life from a baby up until, and then, from what I learned. So I knew even my ex-husband, he would listen to R&B music and stuff like that. So I never ever been around a place or blacks or African Americans where they definitely would look at me and say she's racist. I was like, racist? What are they talking about? What is racist when you are African American? I mean, I'm Moor, and I'm learning what a naturalized being is. But as for you too, I'm assuming you are a Moor that has not claimed your nationality yet. Because I didn't claim my nationality yet. So, but I never went around looking at other blacks or African Americans and saying you racist towards another African American. I never went around saying or telling someone to be man, like trying to convince them to act like a human being. I never seen that happen. I have never seen that happen, ever. Nor have I seen black females going around saying she love your son like a beast, like an animal. I have never experienced no such things. So what would make someone who carries a gun, who is in the United States Navy and Army, or just the police, feel or any form of connection to that branch or that energy of that's authoritative, that's supposed to be protectorate of laws of freedom, feel they have the right or feel so confident that they can mistreat and harass a newcomer that comes to the town. She's with her son. She is trying to live her life in a productive manner. Okay? Productive manner. She doesn't have a criminal history. Her son doesn't have a criminal history. What would make them feel it's okay to come to a fast food restaurant and behave in a harassing manner? So I'm going to take a deep breath right quick. And not only that, say the word paid, brother, like you're doing some type of ritual. I've had customers, and I had men or males and females, and when I'm walking saying brother, like they doing a ritual. So I'm getting back, I want to keep the word ritual. What would make you feel it's okay? Like you trying to do a ritual, make you feel it's okay to disrespect or be harmful or any form of interaction that could be considered harassment towards a cashier. That's a woman at a fast food restaurant. So I want to keep the word ritual, okay? Now I'm going to go to the next. I just need a deep breath. And remember hearing black females saying she love your son like beast, literally like an animal. So if you have to convince, like you speaking to a man that it's a human, that he's a human, that's how it sounds like. You have to, the same energy must have to be applied to the female. If the female has some type of energy about it, I have never in my life, once again, had to look at an African American growing up and like say, just looking at my wings and say, you're a man, you're a man, or you in a way of saying you're human, or you're racist. You're racist towards me. The African Americans say I'm racist towards you. Yes, I'm African American. You are racist towards me, but I'm African American. What makes me racist towards you? Why are you different from me? So I'm going to get back. So if there's not a difference, if there's no form of no type of difference, there would be no need for me to even do a video or have to call the police as many times as I had to call the police in Annapolis. So also, I just tweeted about it has been spoken about how foreign nations, some more have spoke the words foreign nations, see everything on this landmass, predominantly that's unnaturalized, as property, some type of beast or animal in reference to people. Why would they think that? Why would anyone from a different country have a word of classification or identification about people that's not in their country, that's not even from their country, but looking at another country where the laws of freedom have been fought and bled for, looking at them and saying that they are property, and all you have over there that is unnaturalized under the laws of freedom are beasts and animals. What would make Morris even have that thought to speak some form of truth about that? So what's the difference? So they're saying is that they are paid property. Down to the unnaturalized military and police, paid property. And not only that, they're not even considered to be human. In truth, they are considered to be beasts and animals, programs, paid property. So that would connect why it's important for them, for those that are paid property, to use the word paid. Because if you don't know truth and you have no idea what truth is and what you are among, you might actually accept what a beast or animal might say. Especially if they have some form of science that can be sending signals or waves to your mind while you're sleeping. While you're sleeping. I mean, one night I was listening to R&B music, and I was thinking about Arrington-Bey, and all of a sudden, I was hearing this low frequency. I went and told it was so loud. I thought it was the next door. This black Negro female accent. It was definitely black Negro female accent. As I was dedicating songs to you, kept saying brother, like it was some type of, like it was trying to program me. It didn't sound human. And then also in another night, the same thing similar happened. My phone just went zap. And my phone stopped working. So what would make those that have an authoritative position feel it's okay to come to a fast food restaurant and behave in a manner that would be considered harassing or some form of harassment towards a woman Because obviously, I mean, a lot of them speak about how they have lived in Annapolis all their life and so forth. Why would you do that to someone and think it's okay? A woman who's a cashier. I'm not saying everyone, but I've had to document situations that were so odd. I had to. And then I noticed how slyly they would try to be and definitely use some form of psychology. So it'd be easy to seem like that woman's crazy. But if you're in the military, it won't take much for you to go, put my name, and do some research on my family history and see what happened to my mother. And that's the same with the police. So what would give you the confidence that you could get away with such things? I am definitely speaking about criminal acts. And so if you have done your research on a woman who's not from here, even though she's a productive citizen, she's sticking to herself, she is a Moor who has affirmed to uphold laws of freedom. Temple 13 is in Baltimore. I'm in Annapolis. Driving distance is probably 45 minutes away. Catching a bus, walking, is about 2 hours and 30 minutes away. So to not know about more, Temple 13 in Baltimore, been there for a very, very, very long time, and not know the importance of what we stand for in reference to upholding and affirming to uphold constitutional laws, I would say it would be a lie to hear some of them say that they don't know about it. So what would give them the confidence? Why would they think they can get away with it? This is a beast and animal thought that I'm speaking of, a state of mind that a person who has the authoritative position to carry a gun, to use some form of combat, who has been trained in combat, who knows behavior and psychology, behavior methods or body languages, psychology, how to read people's lips. Like, for example, when I do my spiritual prayers, I say my prayers most of the time now. I try to say them light. But usually when I'm dealing with unclean and unnatural spirits, I say, spirits of Allah, thank you for killing and destroying these beasts, this filth, these lab freaks, these unclean natural spirits, and whatever unclean unnatural offspring that comes from them. That's in Annapolis and wherever else they may exist. In whatever world. So when I first came to Annapolis, so it's at 48 minutes. So when I first came to Annapolis, I think I should pause there because it's at 48 minutes and I have to upload. But I'm going to pause. No, I'm going to go ahead and continue. When I first came to Annapolis, Arrington-Bey. So I was wondering why these those that speak Spanish are so engaging. From Mexico, South Central America, Puerto Rico, Cuba, wherever they may be from, whatever place they may be from, that speak Spanish. Why? But I didn't realize I didn't connect the history of resources and how to obtain resources. So what are resources? When I used to think of resources, I thought about raw materials in different countries. I'm going to stop there and go to part 2.